33-story hotel and condo project.
I'd probably be
Okay,
like
let's
that.
stop. Tap.
This is a plan by the community for the community.
This one here. You showed me.
No problem, Ken. Thanks for having me.
It's Kent Molgat for KelownaNow. And we're joined by Jeff Daley, a captain with the BC Dragoons stationed right here in Kelowna.
Hi.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, a few things I wanted to ask you about. It seems like we've seen a lot more recruitment. We've seen your TAC V.
TAP V, Tactical Armored Patrol Vehicle.
We've seen that out and about. You guys are proud to show that off. And the idea is you're trying to get a few more people interested in joining your ranks.
You know what? I've been doing this for 26 years, full-time. So I'm a regular force soldier working with the British Columbia Dragoons. And I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to do it. And I'm not just saying that because I've been doing it for so long. But when I talk to people on the street and I talk to my friends, for a lot of people out there who are looking for a part-time career or a part-time job, and maybe you already have a full-time job somewhere else, but if you have, we call it a keen bone in your body. If you're the type of person that when you see something wrong, you know, that's wrong. I think somebody should be doing something about that. If you're one of those kind of people, you either become a police officer, a firefighter, a paramedic, or you join the Army.
What about maybe a news reporter?
Well, absolutely. I think, well, you guys are always looking for this story, right?
But, okay, and then we saw this announcement with the defense minister.
Absolutely.
That students can be full-time reservists as a summer job.
You know what? It's not just students. The program is actually open to anybody who joins the primary reserves. And what it essentially says is, and we've actually backdated as well. So let's say you joined 2 years ago. You still get to do this program, and it's called the Full-Time Summer Employment. I've been doing, like I said, 26 years I've been doing this. We never had a program like this before. The problem or the challenges that the reserves face is you're a reservist. Now, I need you during the summertime to go away and do courses because there's stepping stones as you go through your career. So I need you for, like, say, 3 weeks during the summertime. But be it you have a job, you're doing KelownaNow, you're working here, but you got some spare time, you need to go to your employer, the boss down the hall, and say, hey, I need 3 weeks off. Can I get 3 weeks off? Because they want to go into an Army course. That's challenging for a lot of people. For students, they graduate school, be it high school, remember, because you can join when you're in high school, or university. Those guys, those people, they're once school is over, they go look for their summer job. So that's why everybody keeps leaning towards that. This is for students because it's from May till August.
Right.
May, June, July, August. So 4 months of full-time work. Now, you're not living in a trench. People see Army and green and they think that's what it's all about. You're not carrying a rifle every day. No, right? You're gonna have weekends off unless you're on course. Like when you're on course, then you're on course and it's 24/7 and it's like the Hamburger Hill boot camp kind of stuff.
Right.
To a degree, not always like that.
Okay, now let's address that a little bit because
Yeah.
most of what I know about the Army is from different movies I've seen. So I'm thinking if you sign up, they are going to put you through some hellish boot camp that is going to just destroy you, and then they can rebuild you as an obedient member of the Army.
An Army ant. You're right. You just
Okay.
become a minion like everybody else.
So what's it really like?
Okay, you know what? Yes, there is stressors. We have to put stressors on people. And it's because in combat, like honestly, like nothing's going to be as stressful as somebody trying to kill you, right? So how do you artificially input stressors on somebody, a civvy? We've given you a haircut, we've given you a uniform, we've taught you how to stand beside somebody with your head straight and you're starting to get attention now. So we teach people all that stuff. But that's not what being a soldier is about. Being a soldier is about teamwork. Everything we do, when you see people, when you see soldiers out there, you ever see just one? Right? When you guys come down and you see us, there's always a group of people running around doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think yesterday during the minister's visit, we wanted to do a big photo, and I just stood in front of her and said, okay, BCDs, everybody.
And they're there.
And they're there, and I said, look this way. They all looked. Okay, I need everybody to pick up a chair and go move it over there. And everybody picked up the chair and moved it over there. That's what we bring to the table. Last year during the floods, I was standing at the pre-oc here in town talking to people, and they're saying, you know, what's going on? What can everybody bring to the table? Well, I'll tell you what I bring to the table. I will stand 100 men shoulder to shoulder, and I will give them a word of command. Everybody bend over and pick up a sandbag. They'll pick up a sandbag. Everybody turn to the right. They'll turn to the right. Everybody put the sandbag down. They'll put the sandbag down. That's what the Army
Right.
does. We're
So,
a machine, right?
You end up with people that can really get something done right now.
You ever try to get civvies to do that stuff? You do these big civvy events. You guys go to all the big conferences some of them. You see, can I get everybody's attention this way?
It takes a while.
Oh, it's
You got-
crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
So it makes you more efficient to work as a group for sure.
I like to think so sometimes. Yeah.
And if you did it for a while and then you came out of that, do you think that's something that makes someone a better person for the long haul?
Once you join the Army and you do that basic training, and yes, I hate using the term but Army ant is maybe a good term, right? You picture all the Army ants always walking along the log together in line. But when all those ants get together, they can move mountains, right? And that's kind of what the Army does too. So we teach you how to do that stuff. It doesn't mean you lose your identity. It doesn't mean you stop being who you are. Oh my God, no. Like that's what we want, diversity. We want those different people in the Army because everybody has a different way of thinking. Every brain is a supercomputer, and that's how our soldiers are nowadays. Every soldier is a supercomputer and able to do amazing things. We just enable them to do that stuff.
Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to talk about is once you're involved, say as a reservist, you're in an organization that does have that rank authority system to it. So what's the dynamic like in the workplace? Does that mean that it's a real heavy-duty authoritarian workplace, or has it evolved into something with a little more give and take?
So at the end of the day, when I give a lawful command, so I'm an officer in the Canadian Armed Forces, I give a lawful command, which means it's a good command. I'm not telling a guy to go jump off a bridge. Like that's an unlawful command. Like people are going to, somebody's going to look at me and go, yeah, I'm not doing that. Of course, because that makes sense, right? But if I say, everybody pick up these chairs and move them over there, and I get the one guy that doesn't want to do that, what do you do with that? So you're talking about the authoritarian, right? Well, absolutely. We have a rank structure. So we have what we call non-commissioned members. Those are the privates, corporal, master corporal, sergeant, warrant officer. Those are those kind of dudes. And everybody's always, people can relate to sergeants. You know, Sergeant Rock, you think back in the old days and all these sergeants. The sergeants are the guys with a stick and they're always yelling at people.
Right.
Well, that's kind of their job. Sergeants are in charge of dress, deportment, and discipline. So me as the captain says, hey, you need to go move those chairs, and then the one private doesn't do it, that sergeant's all over him. So there's always going to be a chain of command. But what's interesting is that because, like I said, supercomputers, every soldier's super smart nowadays, and we really hire smart people. I got people working for me that are way smarter than me, right? The only difference is I've got a lot of combat experience, so I've gone through the ranks. So I'm still the boss, but I got guys. What I've learned is, and it's actually part of the definition of leadership, is you use those people. So I know I got smart people underneath me, so I give them the task. It's called mission command. Okay, guys, what I need all the chairs over there. I need you guys to figure out how to do that. And they'll say, okay, well, let's put them on a dolly and move them all over. It's easier than carrying, right? Work smarter, not harder. So we have all these super smart people that work for us, and oh my God, it makes my job easy. It makes me look good because I just let them come up with the plan. I go, okay, yeah, we're going to do it, but when you do it, I want all the chairs facing this way. So you change the plan a little bit.
So that authority structure is still there, but there's a smarter way to use it so that it's not always just a sharp, short order. It's involve them in problem solving.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, we don't have forever. A couple of things I wanted to cover. If a person gets involved in the reserves, how close are they to actually being part of the regular army and perhaps being posted somewhere? What's the transition from one to the next?
So the primary reserve is a transient culture. What do you mean by that is a lot of these guys might be going to school here at UBCO, and then they go down to Vancouver, and then they move up to Calgary. So we have the ability to post people in between units as a reservist. A reservist never has to deploy unless they don't want to. But what the reserve gives you, it gives you a little taste, and it gives these people an opportunity to go with the regular force. I just had a reservist officer come back from the South Sudan. He went on a tour with the United Nations to the South Sudan. I had another reservist go over to Latvia for 6 months.
Okay, but they're not ready to be deployed as a reservist. They would require some additional training first, right?
Absolutely.
So they would make that decision, go get the extra training, and which would be
absolutely
how much extra training is involved?
So they have, when they integrate into the regular force, we have to meet all the same gateways that the regular force do. So maybe it's a higher level of shooting, maybe it's a higher level of first aid. So we call that individual battle task standards. So they meet a higher level of IBTS, And then they go and get injected with the Reg Force, and they'll do some training with the Reg Force guys, become part of them, and then they go away.
Yeah.
So like we talked earlier about this new tactical armored patrol vehicle, same vehicle the Reg Force guys are using. So my guys get trained here as a driver. I can now send those guys to the Reg Force, do a little stint driving with the Reg Force, make all kinds of money. Remember, as soon as you put on the uniform, you're getting paid. So they go, make a bunch of money with those guys, come back, and they live in Kelowna or Vernon or Penticton, and they still get to come on Wednesday nights and pray with us.
So you mentioned getting paid, and we'll wrap it up here pretty quick, but I take it you have to tell people that over and over. A lot of people don't realize that if you're involved with the reserves, as soon as you put that uniform on, you're getting a paycheck.
Absolutely. As soon as you come into work on a parade night or a weekend exercise, you sign what we call a pay sheet, you're getting paid. So that's good. Not only do I pay you, but if you go on tour, you get all kinds of benefits. So your medical, your health, all that stuff's taken care of. If you're a student and you're going to school, let's say you've done your first year and you're fully trained, trade qualified, so you're a crewman here with us, and you're going to school, say university, Okanagan College, UBC, the Interior Heavy Equipment School, it doesn't matter, you're taking schooling, I'll also give you $2,000 a year for 4 years for your education. So you get your normal paycheck. So you think about it, you go away for the summer, you're not paying for food, because when you're training, I pay you. All that money, we call it beer money for those that can drink.
It could be savings.
It could be savings. For high school kids, you could buy a car. So you graduate high school in late June, I got you for July and August, you're gonna make $6,000.
Right. Plus your tuition is then paid for. Yeah. So there's some attractive finances.
There's some
there.
money. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you've been able to explain that to people. You know what might await them if they decide to take the military route. That's awesome.
Hey,
Captain Jeff Daley.
You know we're hiring, right?
Well, I think you probably have a cutoff point, right?
I can
Plus,
get you to do some push-ups.
Flat feet. Can't do it. But anyway, thanks a lot. For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulcat.